Imagine the largest city in America, the city that never sleeps. Now imagine it led by someone who started as a housing counselor, a community organizer, a neighborhood advocate, and at 34 becomes its next mayor. That someone is Zohran Mamdani. Today, we're going to dive deep into his story, where he came from, how he won one of the toughest jobs in the country, what he promises, and why it matters, especially for you. Stay with me. Zohran Mamdani, New York City's next mayor. The deep dive. First Muslim mayor, first South Asian mayor, youngest in over a century. 1. Early life and roots. Let's start by going back to where Zohran's story begins. Zohran Mamdani was born on October 18, 1991, in Kampala, Uganda. His family moved to Cape Town, South Africa when he was young. Then when he was about 7, they moved to the United States and settled in New York City. His father, Mahmoud Mamdani, is a well-known academic, and his mother, Mayoral, is a prominent filmmaker. Zohran attended the Bronx High School of Science and later graduated in 2014 from Bowdoin College in Maine with a major in Africana Studies. What does this tell us? From an early age, Zohran had a transnational upbringing, exposure to both academic and creative worlds, and a personal understanding of migration, identity, and belonging. These threads appear in his political messaging. 2. Entry into politics and early career. After college, Zohran worked as a housing counselor and got involved in community organizing. He also engaged in grassroots campaigns and became associated with the progressive wing of politics. Notably, he entered the ranks of the Democratic Socialists of America (DSA). In 2020, he ran in the Democratic primary for the New York State Assembly's 36th district in Queens and defeated a 5-term incumbent. He took office in 2021, representing Astoria and surrounding neighborhoods. During his time in the Assembly, he sponsored bills and championed issues around affordability, transit, housing, and working-class rights. From this phase we see his profile build: community roots, progressive politics, younger politician, and gearing up for bigger ambitions. The Mayoral Campaign, strategy and platform. In October 2024, Zohran announced his candidacy for mayor of NYC for the 2025 election. His campaign focused on affordability, rent, transit, groceries, bold progressive policies, small donor fundraising, and digital engagement. For example, he promised a rent freeze on stabilized units. He proposed making city buses fare-free, creation of city-owned grocery stores to reduce food costs, a push to raise the minimum wage to around $30 by 2030, raising taxes on the wealthy and corporations to fund these programs. His messaging appealed especially to younger voters, people of color, immigrant communities, and those feeling squeezed by high cost of living in NYC.
Let's talk about strategy. He used social media heavily, connected with grassroots, and challenged major establishment figures. He emphasized authenticity and doing politics differently. He even coined popular terms like haloflation to refer to inflation affecting Muslim and immigrant households in his outreach. The campaign also benefited from ranked choice voting in the Democratic primary, cross-endorsements with other progressives, and strong turnout. The historic win. On June 24, 2025, Zohran Mamdani secured a commanding lead in the Democratic primary, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo in what many saw as a major upset. In the general election November 4, 2025, he won with approximately 50.4% of the vote, against Cuomo running as an independent. with 41.6% and Republican Curtis Sliva with approximately 7.1%. With this victory, he becomes the first Muslim mayor of New York City, the first South Asian, Indian-American mayor of NYC, the youngest mayor of NYC in over a century, a democratic socialist mayor in one of America's biggest cities. He is expected to assume office on January 1, 2026. This means his win is historic, symbolic, consequential, not just for New York but for American politics more broadly. What his win signifies. Let's explore why this matters. 1. Representation and diversity for immigrant communities. Muslims, South Asians, younger voters. This is a landmark achievement. 2. Progressive politics gaining ground. His win suggests that in urban America, bold progressive platforms can win major offices. 3. Changing electorate. Young voters, digital engagement, grassroots organizing all played big roles. Traditional politics are shifting. 4. Message of affordability, cost of living, housing, transit are increasingly central issues. Mamdani's focus on these resonates with many. 5. Potential national implications. His success may influence other cities and the Democratic Party strategy going forward. However, alongside all this, there are warnings and concerns which we'll cover soon. His win is powerful, but not without challenges. 6. His agenda. Key policies and promises. Let's go into detail on what he plans to do. Rent freeze. Freeze rent increases for rent-stabilized apartments. To protect tenants from sharp hikes, he often references this as essential to stop displacement. Fare-free public transit. Making city buses fare-free or dramatically cheaper. Improving service, reliability of buses and subways. City-owned grocery stores. The idea is that government-run grocery stores can offer lower prices on essentials. Tackling food inflation. Minimum wage increase, aiming toward $30 hour by 2030 in NYC. Affordable housing. Building or preserving hundreds of thousands of affordable housing units. Tax increases for the wealthy and corporations. To pay for the above initiatives, he proposes raising taxes on high-income earners and corporations. Climate and infrastructure. Integrating climate justice into housing, schools, and transportation. For example, green schools, healthier neighborhoods. Public safety and policing reform, though less fully spelled out in campaign materials. As a progressive, he has indicated a desire to reshape how public safety works in NYC. Inclusive governance. He emphasizes that working class New Yorkers must be at the center of policy, that government must be accountable, participatory, not top-down. We should admit, these are ambitious. Many of the policies require big funding, bureaucratic coordination, and will face resistance politically, institutionally, legally. Challenges ahead. Being mayor of NYC is famously one of the toughest jobs in America. Let's examine what may stand in his way. Budget constraints. Many of his proposals cost money. NYC has large obligations, pension liabilities, infrastructure deficits. Political resistance. State government in Albany. Business interests. Real estate developers. Unions may push back. Also, moderate Democrats might resist radical changes. Institutional inertia. Change in a city as large and complex as NYC takes time. Implementation is hard. Public safety concerns. NYC faces crime, policing and public safety issues. A progressive inclination must still address residents, safety concerns or risk backlash. Housing market and real estate power. Freezes and affordability measures will confront developers and landlords, with possible legal challenges. External economic environment, inflation, recession risk, federal funding changes. Global economic pressure could impact what is possible. Managing expectations. With high hopes, residents will expect results quickly. Failure to deliver may lead to disillusionment. Media and opposition narratives. His past positions, for example, on Israel, Palestine have drawn criticism. Managing controversy while pressing ahead is a balance in 5 grams act. To succeed, Zohran will need to build coalitions, be pragmatic where necessary, retain his base while appealing broadly. What this means for New Yorkers. For everyday New Yorkers, Zohran Mamdani's election could mean, if his rent freeze and housing measures take effect, tenants might feel relief and greater stability. Lower transit costs, improved service could make commuting easier, especially for lower-income workers. Grocery price reductions could ease the cost of living pressure. Working-class wages could gradually improve, though $30 are maybe several years out. A shift in the city's priorities, more focus on social justice, equity, climate, neighborhood-level investment. On the flip side, there will be uncertainties. Will taxes go up for others? How will the real estate market react? Will services be disrupted during transitions? Political tone. The city may become a national model for progressive urban governance, or it may face backlash if commitments are not met. For viewers outside NYC, including our audience in Pakistan, South Asia, immigrant communities elsewhere, this result also sends a message. Cities are changing. Representation matters. Progressive agendas can be competitive. Comparative and historical context. It's helpful to put this in context. The role of mayor of New York City has been held by political heavyweights Koch, Giuliani, Bloomberg. The job is big. Prior to Mamdani, the city had never elected a Muslim mayor, nor an Indian American mayor, nor someone with his progressive label at the helm. His age is noteworthy. At 34, he is among the youngest major city mayors. The turnout and voter demographics suggest younger and more diverse electorates are reshaping politics. His win comes at a time when progressive and moderate wings of the Democratic Party are debating direction. His victory may tip the balance. Other cities, for example, Los Angeles, Chicago, are also dealing with affordability, transit, and grassroots politics. NYC's experiment under Mamdani may be watched more widely. What to watch for in his first 100 days and beyond. Here are key indicators we should monitor in his early term. What is his first budget proposal? How will he fund his promises? Does he freeze rent or introduce pilot programs? And how quickly? The fate of fare-free buses, rollout plans, phases, cost analysis, the establishment of city-owned grocery stores, where, how, timeline, minimum wage increase proposals, how they are phased, talks with business, unions, housing construction, permits issued, affordable units built, preserved, transit system improvements, subway, bus reliability metrics, funding, relationships with Albany state government and Congress federal funds, how he handles public safety issues. Will there be major reforms or incremental changes? Public perception. How do New Yorkers feel about his performance, especially those not in his core base? Opposition moves. How will business, real estate, moderate Democrats respond? Will there be legal fights? In short, the first year will set the tone, whether he can convert vision into action, and whether the city accepts the pace and style of his governance. Impact beyond New York. We should not view this as only a local story. His election has broader implications. For American politics, it signals that progressive, younger, more diverse candidates can win major offices in big city environments. For immigrant and Muslim communities, representation at high levels matters. It may inspire more candidacies. For global watchers, NYC is a major global city. Its policies ripple outward in finance, culture, innovation. A new kind of leadership may shift narratives. For cities around the world facing housing crises, transit pressure, cost of living challenges, NYC's approach under Mamdani may become a case study. For the Democratic Party, it raises questions about which wing of the party wins in urban areas, and how the party engages young voters and communities of color. For the narrative of who governs cities, historically corporations, big donors, real estate have had huge power. Grassroots ascension of someone like Mamdani suggests change. Criticisms and open questions. No profile would be complete without acknowledging critiques and unresolved issues. Some critics say his agenda is fiscally unrealistic. How will NYC pay for all of this without driving out business or harming competitiveness? Others worrying about his progressive stance on policing. Will safety be compromised? Will moderate and concerned voters feel left behind? His past statements, for example, the controversy around globalize the Intifada, have raised concern among some Jewish and pro-Israel groups. The real estate lobby. Business interests may push back hard on rent freezes and regulation. Implementation risk. High hopes often run into bureaucratic inertia. Legal constraints, fiscal limits, political risk. The progressive coalition he relies on is younger, more activist-oriented, but broader electorate includes older, moderate, conservative-leaning voters. Balancing both is tricky. External factors, economy, global inflation, federal funding shifts, climate shocks. Many are outside a mayor's direct control yet affect what's achievable. The bottom line, his vision is bold and exciting, but the path will be complex. Let me recap the main points. Zohran Mamdani, at 34, will be the mayor-elect of New York City, making history as its first Muslim and first South Asian mayor, and one of the youngest. His personal story, global roots, immigrant family background, community activist, progressive politics. His campaign won on an affordability agenda, grassroots mobilization, digital savvy, and strong outreach among younger and diverse voters. His policy platform is ambitious: rent freezes, fare free transit, affordable groceries, higher minimum wage, new taxes on the wealthy. His win signals broader shifts in urban American politics, diverse representation, progressive ascendancy, changing voter dynamics. But the challenges are many: budgets, opposition, implementation, public safety, managing expectations. What he does in the next 100 days and first year will matter for his legacy, and for whether his agenda is seen as viable. His victory doesn't only matter to New York, it matters to cities, parties, and political observers across the world. Ultimately, his election poses a question: can a bold progressive agenda rooted in equity, affordability, and community become the blueprint for America's major cities? Time will tell, but for now, change is clearly underway. Thanks for staying till the end. Whether you live in New York or not, Zohran Mamdani's story offers lessons about representation, grassroots power, the importance of affordability, and the fact that politics can still surprise us. If you found this video useful, hit the like button. Share it with friends who love politics, city life, or immigrant success stories. And let me know in the comments, what do you think is the single most important priority for a mayor of a major city like New York? Is it housing, transit, jobs, safety? I'll read your thoughts and maybe feature them in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives like this. Until next time, keep your mind open, stay informed, and remember, cities are built by people, and their leaders matter.